Like to call to order the excuse me, Economic Development Planning Committee. It's at let the record show it's 6 p.m. on June 19th. Voting members of this committee, the legislators Kelly, Sweet, Wilson, and Pertel. First order of business is privilege of the chair. So the committee members, legislators can discuss items of interest regarding departments governed by this committee. Anyone have any discussion on that? Hearing none, we do have a presentation this evening. Gina DeBerry Gibbs from Fulton Montgomery Chamber of Commerce. Gina, you can step forward.
Good evening. I just wanted to give a quick update on some of the activities we've been involved with. You'll see in my report there's a lot of committee meetings that I was part of over the past few months. The State of Amsterdam DRI, the Trail Creek, our Packard Street committee keeps meeting to look at possible applications for bike share and potentially some sort of genealogy program. The Agricultural Economic Development Committee has also been meeting, and the things I really wanted to highlight were the Corning Museum of Glass. The Glass Barge is coming to Amsterdam and Canterbury next week. It is the 150th anniversary of glassmaking moving from Brooklyn to Corning, and they did it via the Erie Canal, and they're recreating that route. So that it is a unique opportunity for Amsterdam and Canterbury to be hosting that. The list was pretty big when they first started the planning, and it got smaller due to funding. So the fact that we have two locations in the county where they are going to stop is very, it's good for us. And you can go online and get they're free tickets, but you have to reserve time slots. And I apologize, I kind of just threw Canterbury in there because they had to change the time of it, and I didn't even know how many time slots. 3 time slots that will be in Canterbury. The evening of the 28th, and there's probably about 6 or 7 in Amsterdam. Some people are having trouble getting their tickets. They thought they were sold out, but if you go back on this week, you should be able to get them. They updated the website. And then with that, we're working with a couple of travel writers. One is coming via boat on Sunday. He's going to dock at Riverlink. He's going to tour the Amsterdam Castle and take in a Mohawks baseball game. Hopefully it won't rain. And then we have New York by Rail is working with the Canal Corporation, and we have a writer coming on the 27th who will be at the Glass Barge, but he's also going to be going to Scarecrow Crossing, Yardtown Museum, and hopefully kayaking with Down by the River Kayaks. And the Mohawk Valley Welcome Center. So he'll just be here one night, but that's pretty exciting as well. We started a tourism work group in March or April timeframe. We had one meeting at the Art Museum. We're rotating between the 2 counties. It's for Fulton and Montgomery. Anyone is welcome to come. And the next meeting is July 10th. And we're just discussing different ideas between the 2 counties and how sites can partner with each other and better promote each other. And then if you have any questions.
Any questions from the legislators? Thank you, Gina. Very informative. Appreciate you coming down. We'll go right to the resolutions. Resolution authorizing the county executive to request and accept the transfer of asset buses. Looking for a sponsor and a second. Legislator Pertel, Legislator Wilson. Discussion. Legislator Pertel.
I don't know who I should address this to, but I guess my question is, if we go over the process, I mean, are we just acting as a conduit, getting the buses out of the city's hands, reducing or eliminating the amount of debt service that they have, and then getting them to ground bus, to Augment,
the max system.
Yeah. Two for the max, two for the max, and two plus. The two for the max will actually replace, the max buses we have now are antiquated, so basically we were requesting by DOT that if we wanted those assets to be transferred to, the county operations to put the request in, which the letter that's attached is from the county executive. So, they would be transferred over to the county for $1. And that basically be utilized for grounds to continue the route down the whole road with the commuter run and then the max run.
So Montgomery County will own the buses
That's how we understand it. Right?
and service them.
Life and grounds is responsible, as part of our agreement, the contractor, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's part of our agreement, grounds is responsible for the servicing of all buses now.
Do you have any obligation after that to replace them? And are these the 60
These
passenger?
are usually the,
The one is that there's 228 passenger ones, which would be the max ones, to
Yeah.
replace the existing max runs, and then the other ones obviously is the larger.
no, so, really, my understanding of it is, it's really comes at a time where it can actually help us with some of the older buses that are currently running, so,
That would be enough.
yeah.
Thank you. Sounds like a good mix.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of moving this to the full legislature, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. That'll move to the full legislature. Resolution appointing members to the county planning board. Looking for a sponsor and a second. Legislator Pep, Legislator Pertal. Discussion. Cheryl, do we know who was added here?
The reason that we're doing this, and Megan can help me out on this, is because we just recently passed the local law establishing the planning board. So with that, we have to reappoint
Okay,
all members. We still have a vacancy in District 1.
okay. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor of moving this to full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. This resolution will move to the full board, full legislature. Next resolution, authorizing the county executive to, sign the revolving loan fund agreement for Executive Trim Group, Incorporated, Executive Group Incorporated. Looking for a sponsor and a second. Legislator Pertel. Legislator Wilson. Discussion. Legislator Pertel.
I just want to say that this looks like it's a really good company. They've taken a really poor building, Building 8, from the old Coleco or carpet complex, which has low ceiling heights, and cleaned it up and did a lot of things at their own expense. And it appears to be a really nice setup.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of moving this to the full legislature, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. This resolution will move to the full legislature. Next resolution, in support of an application through the Consolidated Funding Application, CFA, 2018 rounds for the New York State Division of Community Renewal and Community Development Block Grant. Micro Enterprise Program by Montgomery County for 2018 Montgomery County Agricultural Micro Enterprise Round 2 Program. Look for a sponsor in a second. Legislator Kelly. Legislator Pep. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of moving this to the full legislature, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. The resolution will move to the full legislature. Next resolution, supporting the Montgomery County Consolidated Funding Application, Montgomery County DPW Facility Relocation Project. Looking for a sponsor in a second. Legislator Peck. Legislator Chairman Headwell. Discussion. Legislator Peck.
Ken, I just wanted to get I know some of this is preliminary, but just get a handle. Where are we looking to locate this again?
Right now, I'm working with the county executive's office and the commissioner of public works, and we're looking to potentially relocate that, obviously, up to the front parcels of the Glen County Business Park.
Okay, thank you. And also, I know it's very preliminary in nature, because according to the notes here, estimates being developed. But do you have a ballpark figure what we're looking at here as a total project cost, and in turn, an estimate as to what we may have to fund ourselves?
Yeah, what this resolution does, just so the legislature is fully aware, is the resolution will allow us to actually submit a consolidated funding application. So even if we are awarded up to the $2 million, we would not have to commit to it. If it came to the, we were awarded, but after that time, we could, deny obviously that application, or get something to that going forward. But right now, we actually have a meeting tomorrow morning with the engineering firm. I think preliminary estimates are right now between anywhere between $7.5 to $9 or $10 million for that relocation.
Okay. So they'll match up to 50, up to 2 million or 50%?
Correct, yeah. So obviously, we would be requesting a full $2 million, and we have to match what we can get from this program. It's the same program, legislators that we went to with regards to the relocation of the emergency management garage, and what's happening up there with regards to the public safety facility. This is the same program that we're applying for this year.
So we would obviously, given those dollar figures you're talking about, need to bond any of the difference. It's going to be a pretty big number. Is it something, please refresh our memories, that is in your capital projects? Game plan for the upcoming year or two?
It is, but I would say the sequencing has changed given this past year, the amount of boilers and roofs we replaced. We've, essentially the annex, it's good for a while. This building is not perfect, but good for a while. And really, when you look at what the worst building is, with potential for problems, it's without a doubt the DPW facility. So we're trying to get ahead of that, see if we can get some state funding, get some better idea of what it's going to cost, and then, at a later date, we can make some decisions on how we'd like to proceed and discuss it at the next capital project meeting.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of moving this to the full legislature, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. Looking for a motion to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Patel. We're adjourned at 6:15. I'd like to call Physical Services meeting to order. And members of this team are Martin Kelly, Brian Sweet, John DeChesi, and Michael Peck. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to the first resolution. Resolution authorizing the county exec to sign an intermunicipal agreement for post-closure service with the Schoharie Otsego County Legislature. Sponsor? Thank you. All those in favor of moving this discussion?
I'm sorry, who was the sponsor?
Sponsor. Legislator Peck.
I guess I just, Matt, sorry to bother you again. If this is a post-closure services of a landfill, why, pray tell, do we need agreements stretching from January of 19 to 2029, and then another 10-year term? How long does it take to close these things?
They'll never close them.
Never close?
So essentially, just to go back and give you a little background, when most had closed and we took over solid waste operations, that also meant the management of the closed landfills. When we RFP'd it versus what it would cost to take care of these things in-house, it was a much cheaper option for Montgomery County to step up to the plate and to make sure the environmental work is done, make sure that the leachate's being hauled. And we provide that service for the counties. So this is just continuing that relationship into the future, and we'll be doing it continually. All the runoff that happens needs to be shipped off, and you gotta do yearly reporting to DEC every year, and testing needs to be done. Quarterly. Oh, quarterly.
Is there ever such thing as a final end game? You know, like for instance, the landfill behind Antlers. Does that still undergo this type of stuff too? It does. Is
Daily.
locked up and neatly grassily planted and everything as it is? Okay.
Break it, you bought it.
All right, thank you.
Legislator Proton.
So is there anything different about this? I mean, is this just the same boilerplate as it was before?
Continuation, same, and this is very, one of those things that has worked out very, very well.
Thank you.
Great.
We extended the terms, we don't have to do this as often as what the three counties
And the other two counties have been very happy.
Just a question, is there any room in any of these?
Any other discussion? All those in favor of moving this to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same? So moved. Next, resolution. Resolution authorizing the county exec to sign a municipal agreement between the Village of Canajoharie wastewater treatment plant and Montgomery County Sanitary District 1 for sludge treatment disposal. Sponsor, Legislator Sweet. Legislator Pett, second. Discussion. None? All those in favor of moving that to the full board meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right. Next resolution. Authorizing the county exec to sign an agreement, ACOM, Inc., Engineering Services, the Bridge Program for Public Works. They have a sponsor? Kelly and Pep. Any discussion? All those in favor of moving that to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Next resolution, amending the 2018 operating budget for the bike path, Public Works.
Chair, or sponsor.
You get that?
Yep.
I'll second
Chezzy, second, okay. Discussion? All those in favor of moving to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Anything under other? Discussion? No? Okay. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Roll. It's Legislator Sweet. 6:20.
Since I'm doing this for Joe, we asked for discussion. Call the Public Safety Committee to order. Joe's not here. Voting members are Brian Sweet, Roy Diamond, Dan Wilson, and Mike Peck. First on the agenda, discussion. Hearing none. First resolution amending the 2018 operating budget, carryover grant funds. Have a sponsor? Sponsor Brian, second. Mr. Wilson, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of moving to the full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Resolution number 2, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign and execute a contract agreement, RS Telecom microwave maintenance. Sponsor? Sponsor Roy, and second Mike. Discussion. Okay, hearing none, all in favor of moving full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Resolution authorizing the sale of surplus equipment. The sponsor? Sponsored by legislator Diamond, second by legislator Wilson. Discussion? Legislator Kelly.
So with the two Impalas, what's the mileage on those?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I imagine if I had to guess, probably 250,000.
Do we have an older, like, is there another older one out there other than the 2014 one? Because that's the first one that we as a legislature purchased. So are there older ones from before?
I think the one was wrecked, was a wreck though, wasn't it? 2014 was wrecked in a wreck.
There was one that was wrecked soon after we bought it, which was unfortunate. But I'm not sure on the detail on that. We asked the sheriff, and we've been doing this with Eric, that when they are doing these auctions, that they put up the resolution ahead of time, giving them the authorization to do that. I didn't request any further detail on it, so I don't have to answer that call.
Would you like me to give you information?
I'm just wondering, are these working ones and we're just getting rid of them because they really are surplus? Or is there something, is there another reason why we're?
I really can't imagine him getting rid of something that's,
I think one of them sits in my yard with no headlights in it, and I think they're gonna strip the cars off of it. But I think that's the 2010, but I'm not 100% sure.
any other discussion on this? All in favor of moving it full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into a polygraph service agreement with Amsterdam Police Department. The sponsor? Legislator Diamond, legislator Pep. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of moving to full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Resolution amending the 2008 operating budget with forfeiture monies. Sponsor? Sponsor is legislator Pep. Second is legislator Wilson. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Resolution amending the agreements with New York State Industrials for Disabled Incorporated and the General Code for 2017-18 Shared Services Digitizing Grant Project Extension. Sponsor? Legislator Diamond. Second, legislator Pep. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And last resolution, resolution amending the 2018 operating budget and authorizing the county executive to enter into contract with NICID and General Codes Digitizing Grant. Sponsor? Legislator Sweet, second. Legislator Wilson, discussion? All in favor of moving to full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay. And a motion to adjourn. Motion by legislator Pep, second. Legislator Diamond. All in favor? Aye.
All right, we'll call the Education Government Committee to order at 6:25. First thing on the agenda is discussion privilege of committee chair, committee members or legislators. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move right on to the resolutions. First resolution is a resolution approving the extension of the collective bargaining agreement between Fulton Montgomery Community College and the Fulmont Association of College Educators. Need a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Legislator Duchessis, second. Legislator Pep. Discussion?
Chairman Sweet, just wanted to let you know that Fulton County passed this resolution last week.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move to the full legislature. Just for full disclosure, the next two resolutions I will be abstaining from, only because I am doing electrical inspections for the electrical contractor at the college. So, this resolution is a resolution authorizing county executive to execute change order number 1 with Bass Hatfield Construction LLC for FMCC PE building, bathrooms, and locker rooms project. I need a sponsor. Legislator Pep, second. Legislator Dunn, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I abstain. The next resolution is a resolution authorizing the county executive to execute change order number 1 with Bernanke Piping Inc. for FMCC PE building, bathrooms, and locker rooms project. Need a sponsor. Legislator Pep, second. Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I abstain. Next resolution, a resolution setting the date of public hearing on FMCC's proposed 2018-19 budget. Need a sponsor? Legislator Pep, I'll second it. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So carried. I guess before we get into this next resolution, we have Gail Green here tonight, and she would like to talk about these. Floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. We have two resolutions tonight. The first one is the appointment of the members to the Workforce Development Board. You're probably aware that the board has 27 members. In each county, Fulton, Montgomery, and Schoharie, has 9 members. You have 5 business members, you have 4 public members. So each year what you do is you renew their appointment to that board. They're all appointed for 3 years unless someone retires from the board, and then you put someone in their place for that particular time period. So that's what you're doing tonight, is you're simply renewing their appointments to the board for another term. Questions?
Questions for Gail? Thank you. All right, the first resolution is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign an agreement. Continuation of, what's that? Continuation of CLEO agreement between the county of Montgomery and the counties of Fulton and Schoharie. I need a sponsor. Legislator Wilson, second. Legislator Pep, discussion.
Your discussion, Travis. Did I read something in the paper, Gail, we might not be here next year?
No.
Oh, okay, good. I wanted to thank you for
Well,
all your hard work.
Well, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, I intend to be here.
Okay, good.
However, you may have heard a rumor in that I am going to go back to 80% starting next year.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
So that's probably what you heard. That hasn't been
Okay.
announced, so you heard it here first.
Oh, perfect.
I'm going back to 80%.
Well, thank you again for all your work.
Be a heck of a way to find out.
Yeah. Did my board call me? Something I don't know. No, this is my 18th year, please.
Any other further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move it to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution confirming the appointment / term of representative to the Fulton, Montgomery, and Schoharie County Workforce Development Board made by the county executive. I need a sponsor. Legislator Diamond, second. Legislator Pep. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So carried. Next resolution is a resolution authorizing the county exec to enter an agreement with Montgomery County Agricultural Society promoting youth days at the Montgomery County Fonda Fair. Need a sponsor? Second?
Who's sponsored?
Chair. Second is Legislator Wilson. Discussion? All those in favor?
Oh,
I was just saying,
Oh, I'm sorry.
this year it was included in the budget.
It's a good thing. Any other further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Move to the full board. Anything else under other? If not, I need a motion to adjourn. Second, Mr. Dunn. Adjourn at 6:31.
Yeah. All right, I'd like to call the Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:31 and remind that this is a committee of the whole. We'll open our committee meeting with discussion privilege. Anybody would like to bring anything up for discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to our first resolution. And that is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreement with Westlaw. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Diamond, a second. Legislator Wilson. Any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, all in favor of moving it on to the full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. All right, our second resolution is a resolution establishing an additional coordinated children's program specialist position. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Chairman Headwell, and a second by Legislator Diamond. And I do know that we have some discussion on this because Sarah is here with us this evening and has provided us a handout here to help further explain some of the parameters of this. The floor is yours, Sarah. Thank you for being here tonight.
So if you look at the handout that I provided with you, it gives a breakdown of where our funding comes from. As many of you know, a lot of our funding for public health, especially for children's services, is billable services. When we're looking at a base salary of $39,214, $5,125 of that comes directly from our early intervention grant. When we look at the further portion of that salary, we are able to bill for every 15 minutes that a service coordinator is with a family. Most of our sessions with a family, an intake session, runs about an hour and 45 minutes to 2.5 hours. When we have school-based meetings, those meetings can run up to 3 hours. So if you take 15-minute increments and bill that through the course of 3 hours, that's a substantial amount of money. Right now, our service coordinators that we currently have are running at about an 80 to a 90 child caseload. So as you can imagine, we are not getting all of the billables that we could obtain because we only have 2 full-time staff in that position. We are projected that we are losing about $30,000 a year in revenue because we don't have the manpower and the staff to provide billable services to the children in Montgomery County. From EI to 3 to 5, which are 2 programs that we run for children with special health care needs, we have almost 300 families total in that program, and that goes from Amsterdam all the way out to St. Johnsville. We recently have terminated a contract with a provider in Fulton County due to fiscal reasons, and with doing that, we have saved about $81,000 to the county this year. So when I'm asking for about $5,000 to cover the costs that will not be billable for fringe benefits, on one end I'm saving $81,000 and I'm only asking for about $5,000 from the general fund.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Legislator Patel.
Sarah, Medicaid service coordination has changed recently.
It has.
Providers can no longer be Medicaid service coordinators.
Correct.
Do you see any increase possibly from that change, you say, from Liberty or some other providers in the area that can no longer provide Medicaid service
We do.
coordination?
Liberty is no longer providing Medicaid service coordination, so we are getting an increase in referrals. Last school year alone, we had 99 referrals over the year before, so we had to provide 99 new intake appointments for children, whereas Liberty would typically pick up that. The issue, Legislator Patel, is that with those 99 children, once the service and the intake was provided, we could only get back about 10% of those billables because the other 90% of the children that are Medicaid eligible, we did not have the staff or manpower to get the 15-page consent or intake forms completed in the 30 days in order to get all of that funding that we spent out back. So adding an additional third person, we're looking at making that person our education liaison that would be able to educate the families as to why it's so important to sign off on all of those consent forms for billables and insurance purposes. When we look at our current numbers, about 83% of all of our kids in our program are Medicaid eligible. So we only have about 17% of our children in our program that are private pay or private insurance. And we do collect copays on those. So if the child has a $25 copay via their health insurance, we do collect those. But that only amounts to about $1,300 a year for our copays. So when we're looking at 83% of our costs being Medicaid reimbursable at $62.50 a visit, that's a substantial amount of money that we are not able to collect just because we do not have the manpower to cover one end of the county to the other to serve the 300 families that approximately we have. And those numbers are only going up because our providers are making referrals on children sooner. So our typical age where we would see a child was about 18 months. Now we're getting children as young as 3 months. And we also have had a number of referrals from Albany Medical NICU Center for children who are born with severe deformities and disabilities. So we are getting children as young as 2 and 3 days old from the NICU of Albany.
That's through the 0 for 3 program?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions for Sarah?
Well, I just want to say thanks for such a direct presentation. It really shows that you have command of what you're talking about. It makes it easy for the legislature. Thank you.
Thank you, Thank you.
Sarah, I have one question.
Sure.
The hiring process here, do you have somebody in mind? Is it a job posting? I mean, how does it work, and how quickly do you think you'll be able to fill it if this is passed?
Once you gentlemen approve it next week, and it goes up for posting, I'm hoping to have a person start in September because July and August are our slower months. So I would like to have the job posted as soon as we can so I can go through the hiring process, the orientation process, get them trained, and then the person would hit the ground running for the 2018-19 school year. So I'm looking middle of August to have this person on board. In saying that, when we look at the $13,000 that is allocated in the resolution, we may not need all of that because if the person is not able to start until the beginning of September, then we would only need September, October, November, and December salary. So that 13 was kind of a rough estimate of what we would need. It may be substantially lower, and then you have to remember 62.5% of that $13,000 is state aid reimbursable for billable services.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of moving this to the full board next week?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Gary, so thank you, Sarah, for your presentation. All right, our next resolution is a resolution amending the 2018 operating budget. I'm looking for a sponsor and Chairman Hedwell, do we have a second? Legislator Wilson. A discussion. I will mention this. I did ask Sean when I saw this was coming out of the contingency account. I called him and asked him, how much do we have left? And we have about $79,000 left. So obviously this will leave about $45,000 when this is passed. Presuming it is passed, just for your information. All right, any other discussion on this? Legislator Kelly.
So if it's not to exceed 33, 4,
Why is the amount 35?
yes.
Well, that is an excellent question, Legislator Kelly.
Look, we paid a number of things out of this line, so for example.
So it's also covered.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea, Gary Golich, who does all of our, this assists on the environmental law with the beach net site. We did a phase 1 environmental assessment on a brownfield site out in St. Johnsville, that was $5,000. We paid Pat Prill as an independent contractor to help transition the new veteran service officer. And also, and most importantly, the reason why we're putting $35,000 is we've engaged a company, initially a small contract to vet potential developers, current and potential developers on the beachnet site, who they are, where they're getting their financing, what their project is, and as well as helping with some of the marketing of the site. So we just wanted to make sure we have enough funds to keep moving forward on a whole host of things, and those are some of the notables.
Any other discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, all in favor of moving to full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. This will carry to next week's meeting. And our final resolution of the evening, resolution approving the abstract of audited claims, looking for a sponsor. And second, Legislator Sweet, Legislator Kelly. Any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, all in favor of moving to full board? Opposed? Abstentions? Under other, I just want to remind all of you that even though this would hypothetically be 3 weeks away, we are not going to do the budget workshop for the month of July. But you will be emailed the dashboard reports as we requested from Sean. Any other matters anybody would like to discuss? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Sweet, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. Meeting adjourned at 6:40.